Being out here today to support our mayor. This, for Mayor Pro Tem Baca and I, is a very important election. We want to make sure that Deborah returns in December as our mayor. She's done a great job for the last 4 years. I'm extremely proud to call her a friend and extremely proud to be able to work with her, as I am with Mayor Pro Tem Baca. This election is not only about the mayor, but it's about the entire city council and the direction that we're going and what's going to happen the next 4 years, 2 to 4 years, but really 4 years. So we've kind of collaborated. We support candidates for city council. We're supporting candidates for other offices, but we want to make sure that the next 4 years is very productive, and we want to make sure that the mayor has a very clear path to accomplishing what she needs to accomplish as the mayor. And sometimes that's difficult when you have individuals who resist and struggle. So our goal come November is to come back in December with a team very unified, very diverse, and clearly wanting to move this city forward in a positive direction. We have a few commercial retail projects left to do, the Renaissance, this very area right out here behind Andy's house, which we're going to put retail and housing, so he can't look at the mountains anymore. It's a little further up that way.
No high rise.
Just in front of Andy's house. No, it's a little further up, but we've got a lot of exciting things going on, and I got to tell you that I first got elected to the city council in 1996, and I've worked with a lot of mayors, a lot of bad mayors, a lot of good mayors, and very clearly, in my opinion, the most progressive mayor that this city has ever had is Deborah. She clearly has a vision for people and clearly wants to help people and move things forward and make our city a great city. So again, I'm very proud to support her. The one thing that we all need to remember is we've got to get out there and walk and work and get her elected, get Andy elected, and any others that we choose as a group to support. But we clearly need to be out there walking, knocking on doors. That's the most important thing about an election. You can't sit back and expect to get elected. You have to get out there and knock on doors, talk to people, and introduce them to the candidate. Sometimes it's easy to live within your own circle and think you're real popular, but you got to go out there and talk to folks and let them know what you believe in and what your vision is for their community, which is clearly very important to each and every one of us that lives here. So, Mayor Robertson, look forward to another 4 years with you.
Now, Mayor Pro Tem Baca.
We're going to go out the microphone. I see us as family and friends, very informal. But, I've gotten to know Deborah over the last 10 years, and, our relationship wasn't exactly the best when I first started, but I have to tell you, over the years, we've really become good colleagues. We've worked really well together, and I appreciate some of the things she's done. We work closely on a lot of issues, and I think, we share a lot of the same values and a lot of the compassion for the community. I know that Deborah really cares about the community. She's out there, she's active, she's attending events, she's vocal, very outspoken, and she's not afraid to speak her mind, and that's important, especially in politics in our society today, where people are afraid to speak out or say anything because they're worried about what other people think. Well, that's what leaders are chosen to do, is to speak out. And since she's been mayor, she hasn't been afraid to speak out, to share her vision with the city of Rialto. Let's give it up for the mayor. Come on, give it up for the mayor. That's important. But I know that Grace did a good job as mayor, but really, not only has Deborah taken the torch, but she has really enlightened that torch, and that torch has gotten bigger since she's been mayor. And she's taken a lot of steps, as Councilman Scott mentioned, to be progressive and move this city forward. I mean, look at all the progress and things we've accomplished as a team in the city of Rialto. Look at Bud Bedner Park being expanded, Ferguson Park being expanded, the In-N-Out project, the Renaissance project which is on the way, this project that will be here, as Councilman Scott alluded to. All these projects that are in the works, we're talking about moving, continue to move. And Rialto has become a better place. Crime is down. Things are getting better, and that's the type of leadership we need that's going to work with all department heads and not have an own personal agenda. I know she's not here to get wealthy. She's not here to be in power. She really cares about the community, and that's very, very important. You got to do it from the heart. That's the first thing I learned from my father. You got to be from the heart. If you just want the title, you're in it for the wrong reasons. Deborah's in it for the right reasons. Isn't that right? She's in it for the right reasons. Absolutely. So we're going to continue to work hard and work together and dialogue, and those things are important. You dialogue with the community, and one of the things she does is she goes to these different events and she listens. And a lot of times you get people that don't listen. They think they have all the answers, and sometimes we're all guilty of it. We think we know what's best, but it's important we listen. Deborah's a listener. She listens to people. She hears their concerns. She speaks about them on the dais at the council meeting. She brings the concerns to staff. That's what we're looking for in a leader, people that listen. And I heard a story yesterday. I was getting my hair cut downtown Rialto, and her opponent, and the way her opponent treated this small business owner just really appalled me. Kind of racist remarks and just real offensive things, trying to buy her business from her, when her husband passed away. And I just thought that was sick. I thought that was very Trump-esque. And I just, you know where I'm going. But the whole point is, Deborah's not going to play games. She's not going to sit there and manipulate. She's not in for the money. She's not trying to set herself up so she can make a lot of money for personal interests. So I'd like to give it up for the next mayor, or the continued mayor, for 4 more years. 4 more years. Let's get up for Deborah Robertson.
Okay. Well, I don't think I need the mic as well. I think my voice usually carries really well. And I just want to say to everybody, thank you for coming out, for being family and friends, for being here. You've heard from my 2 colleagues, and they have been a rock for me. They have helped me move our community forward. One thing about, you want to have unity. You want to have the ability that everybody is working for the common good of our community. But if you can't have that, then if nothing else, in politics, you need to learn how to count to 3. And the reality is, there's things that oftentimes we'll get together and we may not always agree on it, but we'll talk about it and we'll see where is it and where's the benefit, where's the ultimate benefit. When I ran for mayor 4 years ago, in my campaign statement, and I think the thing here states that I'm committed to the taxpayers and economic progress here in Rialto. And we have been working on that, not just staying still and not, waiting and letting things pass us by. We have been very aggressive, I think very bullish. We've said we want to make sure we move things in this community and have things happen for Rialto, because we feel, I know Ed and Joe and I feel that, we can't let things pass us by. We can't let the door close on us again without making sure we have the things in Rialto that we want to see and we feel we should have in Rialto. When you see my campaign statement in the book, we had to turn that in. My papers are in. I'm official. I have all my 20. I had actually turned in close to 40 names, but I only needed 20. So I'm in, and I'm official. My campaign statement, I was writing something and talking about, the presence of this community, how we feel. When I go out, people tell me they can sense a different attitude in Rialto. People want to know what's going on in Rialto. We're over here, we're quiet, we're comfortable. We don't have a lot of drama or a lot of, sadly, a lot of strife going on or tension. yes, we still have problems in Rialto, don't get me wrong, you know, there's still elements of gang activities on the fringes, and our law enforcement, our police department, they're dealing with it, but they're dealing with it in a professional way. I don't get complaints, I'm not having letters. 10 years ago when I first came on council, we always get whatever complaint. Somebody walk in and file a complaint. It's in our package. With Agenda Day, we have the complaints that are going to be filed by the city. And I can honestly say, over the 10-year period, especially the last 4, they have basically diminished. We are not seeing citizens coming in with a complaint. If they do come in and they have a concern that they feel they were mistreated, and it's with our law enforcement, we're wearing body-worn cameras. We invite them to come in and look at the situation, and once they look at it, they see what was going on and see it from a different perspective. And, you know, in some cases have actually said, oh, you know, they've apologized. They recognize that they got caught up in the moment. So things are changing here. When I first started, I was concerned about the economic progress, the business development of Rialto, the crime issue was going on. Well, you'll hear my statement. I look back in the 4 years, I can safely say that our economic activities are up. Business is on the rise in Rialto. You can see it. Now, you may say, well, that's not what I wanted to see just yet. But, you know, if you stop and understand that we need to have a sound foundation, then you'll understand it's important to have the business developments and the larger corporations and activities coming into Rialto and being a part of Rialto. Crime, Joe just mentioned, our crime numbers are down. They're down to the point that now they're causing people to want to come to Rialto and purchase home. Well, I've had a person who told me, a real estate agent, on the Zillow, that people, is it Zillow? Zillow, right. Zillow. When people are looking at houses and opportunities to move, our housing stock is very low in Rialto. The resale market is very low because when a house comes on the market here in Rialto now, the existing home, it's gone. It's gone. If it stays on the market more than 60 days, that's amazing. They're moving because people are beginning to look and say, well, if I need to move into the Inland Empire where I can afford a home, where can I look and what? And they look at the crime. They look at the crime in all the surrounding communities. And our park forests are basically down, and they've been down now for the last 2 years. So that's a plus for us. Also, our open space, our parks, as you mentioned, Bud Bender Park. If you haven't seen it, it's gorgeous. Ferguson, we completed that. We're in the process of making some improvements you'll see soon with Frisbee, and also Jerry Eves Park. We're expanding. We just gave another contract. There's going to be a brand new park constructed at Cactus and Randall. And it'll require for the community to give us some input on it. But we're recognizing we need the open space. We want to make sure our community is a place that when you come home, if you're not working here in Rialto, and that was another thing for me personally, was to make sure that our residents could be part of the local workforce here. And with that, it wasn't just lip service. So every company that comes into Rialto, we get a commitment from them that they will put in their workforce a certain percentage. I can't expect them to do 100%, but we sit down and negotiate that we expect them to at least have 30 to 40% of their workforce. And we want to know the types of jobs they're bringing into Rialto, not just quantity, but the quality of jobs. So I'm excited. I'm excited about looking back and seeing that I've made the progress, and I'm looking forward to going forward. I want to make sure that when I step off of the dais 4 years from now, when I win my election 4 years from now, I want to make sure that I step off and I can look back and say, I'm leaving this place in a better place than what it was when I came here in 1988. And I think if you just look around, you'll say that this area out here, this is the economic gold mine, this corridor. If you haven't seen what goes along 210, and we have an opportunity to develop it, and to develop it the way we want to see, the quality of life that we want to see in this community, along with the Renaissance Airport. That's over 1,500 acres of land that we're going to develop, commercial and residential. So a lot's coming to our community. We're working on some things. I don't want to see us turn it back. I want to continue to see us go forward, and I hope that you guys will support me and be with me every step of the way. Thank you. Alicia, where's Alicia? And my family, the girls and my grandchildren, along with her children and son. I really want to thank them. He's running for council. Andy's been one of our beautification commissioners. He and his wife, you know, they are committed here in Rialto as well. This lovely, lovely home. If you guys have seen this home when they took it over, it was just a shell. And it was a beautiful home, the White House, I call it the White House. Rialto has a White House. But they took it over and they've managed to really fit it into the community where you still have beautiful views, and they've taken care of it. They're stewards of the property, and I just love the way they've taken care of it. But he's running for council. I hope you will support him. He, as well as two others, I think have actually turned paperwork in. We have others in the room that are going to run for council, and once they get their paperwork in, they definitely have my support, and that's Mr. Moore. He's one of our transportation commissioners, a resident, owner of, a property owner, resident here in Rialto, and his lovely wife. We have a number of people who are gonna run for council, and, you know, so far only 2 or 3. Andy's turned his papers in, I think one other person. But let's go forward. Think about the candidates and what they can bring and the investment they have, but more importantly, think about going forward. I would encourage you, please, to go forward, don't look back, okay, other than look back for me, okay? But let's go forward. And so again, I wanna thank Andy and Alicia and her family and her brother-in-law. If you guys haven't had any of his pastries, he made those personally. They're gone? They're gone? Okay. I want to thank you guys also.
I want to thank everyone for coming out today in support of our mayor. We need to, like Joe said, you know, we need to work hard and walk with her and come to all of her events. And let's just work hard and get her reelected, because we really need her. Please give it up for our mayor.
And the beauty of it is that Coffee Nuts has not started his business here. He has a outlet in Arrowhead, in Colton, and he's getting ready. He just signed the lease, and he will be one of the businesses up in the Renaissance with our commercial development. So slowly, we'll have one on Riverside and Foothill. That will be the original. And then we're doing that. And that's what's happening in Rialto. We have business owners who are now launching not only their first, but they're launching their second business right here in Rialto. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Applaud you.
Thanks again. Thanks for coming.